Huh? Hmm.
According to Manila Bulletin, in 2022, Filipino adolescents were among the most physically inactive in the world, with only 15.4% meeting the global physical activity recommendation. This was revealed in the Youth Physical Activity Report Cards released by the Active Healthy Kids Global Alliance, or AHKGA, raising an alarm for stakeholders to work together to improve the physical activity levels of youth in the post pandemic era. Good day, Carolinians. My name is Maria Sandra Hakalan Naval, and I will be your speaker for today's session. Now, before we go through our topic, allow me to introduce myself. Let's move on to the next slide in a bit. Okay, now I am currently on my fourth year in taking up Bachelor of Physical Education, and I also happen to be a student teacher. Now, I just finished my first half as a student teacher at the University of San Carlos Basic Education Department South Campus. And right now, I am assigned to teach at Paraf South Crest. So, in terms of my hobbies, I could really tell that I'm an outdoor enthusiast because I love engaging with any recreational activities such as swimming, diving, running, trekking, cycling, and playing different kinds of sports. And apart from those things, I am also an active volunteer and a member, sorry, and a member of USC Junior JC's, a youth organization. And I have also been the president of the Carolinian Physical Education Student Society for 2 years and counting. Now, that is all about me. Let us move on to the next slide. Okay. Now, you might be wondering, why am I here and why am I making this video? So, just to be clear, guys, I am not here to cloud chase, okay? So, kidding aside, apart from being invited by our trustworthy guidance counselor, Mrs. Aguilar, I am also here to convince you that a healthy, wellness oriented lifestyle is something that you really want to participate in. And I also want to provide you with necessary skills and knowledge so you are able to adhere to a wellness lifestyle. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our talk that is entitled Move Your Way to Wellness, where I will be showing you, or I will be sharing to you, the importance of incorporating movements to take care of one's well being. Now, as you can see here, this is the wellness wheel that consists of 8 dimensions. So, wellness is the constant and deliberate effort to stay healthy and achieve the highest potential for well being and living a lifestyle that optimizes all aspects of lifestyle. Now, so, of course, in spite of me only being in a video instead of having a face to face session with you, let us still do our best to have an interactive activity, okay? Now, I would like to request everyone to get a 1/4 sheet of paper or scratch paper, and I would then give you 2 minutes to match table A and table B, which is this one, okay? But let me go back first to the instruction. Okay. Mm, Now, once the 2 minutes is over, give your paper to your seatmate and let him or her have it checked. Okay? Now, after checking, compare your scores and ang mapildi kay manglibrig pagkaon sa canteen. So make sure nga mas dako kag score kaysa imong seatmate, okay? So, Let us start the 2 minutes in 4, 3, 2, go. All right, now the time is up. 2 minutes is over. Here is the correct answer. So, number one is D, emotional wellness. Now, you can more effectively respond to your feelings when you are aware of them and can better comprehend why you are feeling the way you are. So, by taking care of your physical health, you can promote your emotional wellness. Now, your physical and mental well being are linked by what you eat, how much you move, and how much sleep you get. Next, number two, we also have occupational wellness. Now, this dimension of well being emphasizes the value of fulfillment, enrichment, and purpose through job. But mostly in our case, most of us don't have jobs, pa naman, no? So, value of fulfillment, enrichment, and purpose through being a student sa ta. So, by being a student, this is where you frequently consider where you find happiness and purpose in life. So, especially because most of our time we spend it by having classes, making assignments, and being with our classmates and teachers, right? So, in this picture, as you can see, these are actually my senior high school friends. Nagka-close jud mi ani nila during senior high school. So, this is during our graduation, sa mga activity. And then, of course, this is the most recent picture that we had this year to 2023 lang. So we are still friends. Okay, next, number three. The answer is E, intellectual wellness. So one may build their intellectual well-being through academics. So by studying and honestly answering the test on your own. So ako mura guilty jud ko aning honestly answering the test on your own, no? So nadyo tay time nga nangopya ko. But then I realized nga, at the end of the day, I may have a really big score or passing score, pero wa ko nahibaw-an. So, ako gihapon ang alkansi, kay dako akong score, pero wa ko nahibaw-an. So, dili ra gihapon siya worth it if imo siyang hunahunahon for the, like, for long term nga kuan, nga effect. So, alkansi gihapon ko. So, much better to study na lang dyan. Maningkamot lang ta to understand the lesson which we can use in the nearest future. Kaya if mangupyatan niya, wara gihapon makatunan, it's really useless niya. Sayang ra ang kwarta sa pag-enroll sa tong parents, di ba? So that is academic. Next, we also have cultural engagement. So as you can see here in the picture, this is like a student exchange from institutions overseas. So in this case, moni ang mga Japanese students who visited University of San Carlos. So what we did here is actually having a cultural exchange. So from USC, we let them what do you call this? We'll let them experience, for example, mga Filipino games or larong Pinoy like kanang Pantentero, amo sila gipa-experience ana. And we also had Arnis, 'di ba? I hope everyone's familiar with Arnis. It is a martial arts that is originated in the Philippines. Okay? And at the same time, ang mga Japanese ni share po silang culture. For example, ang kanang origami, kanang folding of paper, and then yes, it was a really fun experience for us. So that is the example of cultural engagement. And of course, we have community involvement, such as CES or Community Extension Service. So in this picture, we actually went to Inayawan dump site to share to them, like it's like a charity. We gave them food, rice, and then some essentials that they needed in their day-to-day basis. Okay? And then individual interest that broadens one knowledge and abilities and enable one to share that knowledge and talents with others may help or may all help one. Okay, so it's really nice to um, engage with the community, so that we would also learn from each other. All right, now let's move on to environmental wellness. So number four is environ- environmental wellness. So the core principle of environmental wellness is respect. Respect for all nature and all species living in it. So as you can see here, during the Spartan Trail, this was actually my first time being involved in a Spartan Trail. Now, I think during your PE time, sa mga grade 11, if napamoy PE, and then you're under Miss Pakana, you would actually have a camping lesson. I hope you will have that, kay you would be learning about this term LNT. When you say LNT, that is leave no trace. So, as a responsible backpacker, for example, camping, if you're a responsible individual or a backpacker, after using the campsite or yeah, after using the campsite, you have to make sure nga walay mga sagbot like mga uling, mga plastic nga mabilin sa campsite. You have to make sure nga dadon nimo tanan sagbot nimo sa imong bag or sa imong pocket before leaving the campsite. So mo nang giingon nimo nga please leave nothing but your footsteps lang ang atong ibilin, di kay manguha tag tanom ngadto atong hilabtan ang nature. So we have to respect our surroundings, okay? And yes, that's it. Now, let's move on to number five. The answer is C, financial wellness. So, money plays a critical role in our lives, of course, and it can impact your health as well as academic performance. So, friends, I'm pretty sure that you have friends with you nga usahay di jud malikayan nga galgalon mog order og milk tea via Food Panda or Grab, di ba? So, gasto jud kayo magka-friend. Um, or even sa inyong shopping nga impulsive kayo mo, you don't even think first if you really need it, or yeah, you don't really think if you really need it, and you end up not using it and wasting your money. So think many times before you buy. I even have this habit banga, whenever I feel like I really want to purchase a certain item like my smartwatch, this one, I would still wait at around 3 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months before I could finally decide if I really need it, or it's not yet practical to purchase the item because I have other priorities, or I just don't need it yet. Okay? So, most aning mga meme no nga, hello, is it sales you're looking for? Kay maka-attract jud ang sales sometimes, but like I said, we have to think first. And for me, I have to wait few months pa before I would decide if paliton ba jud nako or dili. Kay di jud lalim mangit agwarta, which I just realized. Okay. Number six is G, social wellness. So, When you say social wellness, this focuses on building and nurturing meaningful and supportive relationships with individuals, like your friends, groups, and communities. So it enables you to create boundaries that encourage communication, trust, and conflict management as well. So social wellness also includes showing respect for others, oneself, of course, imong kagalingon, imo sa dapat respetoon. Um, what do you call this, in other cultures, of course. So a perfect example for this is when you engage in physical activities such as volleyball or basketball. Since it is a team sport, it requires more than three players, right? So whether you already know each other or you are all complete strangers, it doesn't really matter, because as long as you know what your goal is as a team, and that is to win, all throughout the game, you would then learn how to effectively work with each other, and eventually would build a stronger relationship. So, just for example, this picture, this happened during our intramurals college first year pa ko, mga 2019. We are actually not friends here, but then as we started playing together, we slowly built a stronger relationship. Guy, we had to work via, because we have this the same goal, which is to win. So we ended up being close, and then magbanding-banding lang me ato nga time, and it was really fun actually. And I also have here my best friend and my mga ka-org na ko sa USCJC. So yes. Next, we have number 7, F, physical wellness. So physical wellness recognizes that our daily habits and behaviors have an impact on our overall health, well-being, and quality of life. Why? Because when we engage in physical activities, it does not just benefit our physical attributes, but it also benefits our social, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, actually, holistic wellness jud ang makapahelp na to when we engage in physical activities. Alright? So, next, of course, last but not the least, number 8 is B, spiritual wellness. So, a person's beliefs, religion, values, ethics, or moral principles that give their life meaning and direction might be considered to be spiritual. We stay resilient and are better equipped to handle life's problems when we have a healthy spirit. So, as for me, um, if wala man ko ko'y believe, if wala ko'y, let's say for example, if I don't believe in God, and then I have a problem, it's like I'm very hopeless because I see God as my hope. And then if I don't have a God, I would feel hopeless, and my life would be meaningless, if if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So it would be better to improve our spiritual wellness, so that if na may kahay mga challenges nga we would face, we would remain strong, kay we would know nga we are going to succeed at the end of the day, because we have God and we have faith in him, right? So I think that's it. So of course, since this talk is about moving our way towards wellness, I will be giving you some helpful tips on how to achieve holistic wellness through physical activity. Now, before that, let us be aware of some important key terms, which is number 1, fitness. So, according to human kinetics, physical fitness refers to the ability of your body systems to work together efficiently to allow you to be healthy and perform activities of daily living. So, to put it in other way, being fit involves more than simply being able to sprint quickly or perform sit-ups or push-ups. So, the capacity of fulfill environmental demands is fitness. So your environment is everything that surrounds you or around you. So it includes home, um, family, work, friends. All of them make demands on you. For example, you just finished eating lunch, and then your parents would demand you to wash the dishes. Of course, you have to do that, right? After eating, you have to be responsible enough to wash the dishes. Okay, so meeting the demands means carrying out the tasks and activities. Now, how do we effectively achieve holistic wellness through fitness? So, an effective fitness program includes five components of physical fitness. And in order to adapt a wellness lifestyle, most individuals have to change a number of behaviors, and changing behaviors is the most difficult aspect of living a wellness lifestyle. Now, also the barriers to change must be overcome. So unsa may mga examples sa barriers of change? Unsa may makahinder nato to live a healthier lifestyle? One could actually be procrastination. Magsiyaw-yaw. Puyag exercise. Uy, kanang kapoy kay dagan, hanga kay magdagan, lawyer kayo, may paikatog na lang. So that could hinder you from living a healthy lifestyle, right? Number two could also be preconditioned cultural beliefs, sorry. For example, unsa may example anang preconditioned cultural beliefs, mga tuo-tuo ba? For example, ako, I'm currently having my monthly visitor, menstruation and everything. Katong bata pa ko, maingon ko, mag-jogging ko, ma, pwede ko mag-jogging kay bisag gidugo. Ingan ko sa mga dili ka pwede mag-jogging kay gidugo ka, maglain mong lawas. But in fact, ang tinuod day or the fact is, or ang tinuod day ana nga, it's actually okay to exercise, especially during your menstruation, kay it's actually better to move your body, especially your muscles, so that you wouldn't be feeling the cramps sa imuhang puson. Okay? So, that is the example of preconditioned cultural beliefs. Mga tuo-tuo ba nga dili scientifically proven. And then, marag, wala sila strong what do you call this, nga fact or information to defend their belief. Okay? So, that is the example. So, how do we attain a healthy lifestyle? Atong tawgon akong auntie to introduce to you this thing called SMART goal. So SMART goal is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So through SMART goal, this will help you design your own exercise program. Now once again, let me call my tia. Okay, mo niya akong auntie.
I ask all my clients about their fitness goals, and more often than not, it seems they're a statement rather than a goal. So we always take the time to refine what they want to accomplish and then set some parameters. Now when we do this, I like to use the SMART goal acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. The specific part answers questions like what, when, and how. Next, you need to be able to measure your progress. Think consistent and on a regular basis. Attainable and realistic really go hand in hand. Your goal needs to be a stretch, it needs to be a challenge. It might even be tough sometimes, but the key is it's got to be doable. Finally, timely. In order to stay motivated, experts recommend an endpoint of no more than 6 months out. So there you have it. Set your SMART goal and stick to it. Be fit, be healthy, be happy.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Tia Tanya, for that a really quick and brief explanation in terms of SMART goal. Okay, now, of course, before we engage in physical activities, we have to make sure that we would do a warm up and stretching. And then after engaging in physical activities, we have to make sure that mag-cool down sa datong body. Okay? So if we have a SMART goal, we also need to have the 3 C's. So we have to fulfill the 3 C's. Okay, unsa man ni ang 3 C's? Number 1 is comprehension. We have to understand the reason why it is important for you to exercise on a regular basis by simply, for example, we could be listening to our PE teacher who also happens to teach about health, or by watching YouTube for educational exercise materials, or of course, talking with a healthcare professional. So this will provide a strong base for your commitment. Okay? Now, commitment How do we do this? We have to make a conscious decision to establish exercise as a priority in your day's activity. So make working out a routine using SMART goals as mentioned by my auntie Tanya, 'di ba? Mo to say ang gi-explain ni Tia Tanya about SMART goals. So, for example, in your notebook ba or to-do list, you make a note of a time for exercising, and then you have to make sure you do it handwritten so that you could improve your focus and pay attention to each detail. Kay lahi man good if we use our phones to make notes. Like, for me lang ha, dali ko makalimot if it's i-type na ko sa cellphone. So, much better, I would prefer na akong suwaton kay murag mas maka-remember man good ko. So, it could be something that you call nga muscle memory. Mas better if suwaton mo using your hand and then your pen or pencil. And last C would be, of course, confidence. Set manageable and realistic goal. As you complete the task that would get you closer to your goal, reward and congratulate yourself. Of course, you have to avoid letting little failures jeopardize your long-term success. Okay. Now, we are going to debunk self-care myths. Mga totoo about self-care myths ba nga? Ana sila, self-care is only for people struggling with mental health. And then self-care means alone time. Self-care is expensive and are rewards to be earned ko no. Well, the truth is, those things are not true. Self-care improves overall health. It improves lower stress, which is linked to lower blood pressure and better sleep. Self care improves focus. The less stress and burned out you feel, the more you can focus on your tasks. So, self care doesn't have to be expensive, okay, friends? Nor does it have to be time consuming, okay? So, we have to take note of those. So, since we only have uh, a limited time. Okay, I could say that that is about it for our talk. I hope in some ways I am able to enlighten your mind and encourage you to engage in physical activities in order to achieve holistic wellness. So once again, this has been your speaker, Maria Sandra Hakala Naval. And to end my talk, I would just like to share a quote from Zig Ziglar that goes, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Thank you and stay active.